You're listening to the We Are Libertarians Podcast Network. Find all of our shows at wearelibertarians.com. You're listening to the We Are Libertarians Network. Learn more at wearelibertarians.com.
Welcome to the Boss Hog of Liberty podcast. This is episode number 127 of East Central Indiana's favorite podcast. I'm Jeremiah Morrell. Today I'm joined by co-host Dakota Davis, returning third chair co-host Chase Peyton.
What's up?
And our very good friend, Betsy Mills, potentially gonna have a new title at some point.
What?
Today's episode, like Jeremiah just spoiled the surprise for everyone.
I said
Betsy Mills.
Might.
No, I didn't. You spoiled the surprise as I was announcing that Betsy Mills was on the show.
Maybe I'm concussed.
Maybe. Who knows? We're going to talk to Betsy about all kinds of things, but the first thing we're going to do is wish Betsy a very big happy birthday. This is her last day as, we won't
Don't
say
give away her age.
Yeah,
I'm 33. It's cool.
For now.
It's her last day as 33. But we're celebrating. Chase brought her a cake. So if you hear any of us talking and like mumbling and it sounds like we're smacking our lips in this episode, that might be why.
It tastes like a giant ding dong.
It's really good.
We're pretty professional around here, so hopefully you don't hear that. We're going to be
If you're a Patreon member, you got to hear Chase burp right in.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, the perks of paying us. Who knew? But we are also going to be welcoming Chase back to the show. Talking about what Chris Guffey got himself into on Saturday, and also Andrew Luck retiring from the NFL.
Do you know who Andrew Luck is?
I do.
Okay, all right. This show is about our lives in rural Indiana. We're here to push your boundaries and make you think as individuals. Sometimes we will provoke you. Other times we'll make you laugh. But hopefully you'll always learn something new. This is we finally know what episode we're on again. There for a week or two we had some struggles. We couldn't get it right. But we're on 127. Chase, I'm looking at you on screen here, buddy. You look ridiculous.
Oh, hold on.
You got your headband on. What is that? Your headband says Christy sucks.
Yeah, it does. Screw you, Christy.
Christy Avery, also a Patreon member and a birthday person this week. I wished a happy birthday to Christy. She's a devoted Lions fan. You obviously are a Packer fan.
Low blow.
You said
Very
you bought
funny.
Packer tickets, so I assume that you were a Packer fan, Chase.
I'm going to the Bears game.
Oh,
Aaron Rodgers just happens to be there.
so you are this weekend. You're going to go up to Chicago, or this next week, a week from right now.
Yes.
Today's Thursday.
What time is it?
It is 7:30, 26 p.m.
So about an hour from now,
Yeah.
I'll go see the opening kickoff of the 100th NFL season.
My God.
Pretty excited.
Wow.
And I'm going to whoop your father-in-law's ass in fantasy.
I'm going to whip all your asses.
And Chris's ass. And then he's going to have to add me on Facebook.
I hope you got that friend request ready.
So that's a little side bet you guys have. Chase and myself and Guffey and my father-in-law, Kevin, we all got together, and Chase is the commissioner of a fantasy football league. It's the first paying fantasy league I think I've ever been in. Chase found me at a weak moment, and I joined. I've not even renewed the league I've done for the last 10 years or so because I'm so excited about Chase's league.
How many members?
There's like
14.
Yeah, there's a bunch.
Wow.
Very. I don't agree with all the rules, but you're the commissioner, Chase. So
That waiver wire's
it
gonna
is
be
what it
epic.
is. But yeah, there's not a lot of depth.
Oh,
Come
no.
round 15, we were drafting
It's-
people
it's-
that nobody knew.
I'm pretty sure James Mungro is on my team. So that's
It's a work in progress.
Oh, Lord.
it's not after 8, by the way. The chat is very upset, Chase, that you said a word already that you're not allowed to say.
It's
I haven't
it's
said that
before
word yet.
8 p.m.
It's before 8 p.m.
I haven't said
That's
that
why
word
we
yet.
fired you the first time.
God.
I said
And we're just now letting you
said-
back after
I said-
7 months.
I said ass. Everyone has
Well, don't
an
keep
ass.
saying it. There's kids.
That kid has an ass.
There are children watching. There are Patreon members that we care
Hey,
about.
guess what? The word ass is in the Bible. I would know.
Well, you're going to own a church someday. That is the rumor. Pastor Chase. I can't wait until.
Did you notice how he choked on his drink whenever he said that?
WIBC or I think it was WIBC or the MS. Some of the MS guys. I think it was the 1070 fan folks. They actually just did a live event. Joey Molinaro for his birthday a couple days ago. Our friend Joey and Kevin Bowen, I think JMV were there. They did a live event in an old church that's now a bar. So there's all kinds of opportunities. I'm sure Henry County would be very progressive. And when that church is yours, Chase, they'll let you open up a bar and grill, the First Baptist Bar and Grill, in honor of Tim Wilson.
Just come out of his grave and kill me.
Murder you.
Yeah,
for sure.
All right, we got to.
And then it would be the First Baptist Haunted Bar and Grill.
It might already be haunted. I don't know.
Chris Bilbrey, Christy Avery, our very good friend, Craig DaCosta, and John Phillips. You guys are awesome heroes of the Americas, all over the country. By the way, that's not all just local people. You guys pay the bills, and all the Patreon folks make it worth it. But you guys are the absolute all stars. So thank you very much.
Craig DaCosta lives in Hawaii, and I was watching the weather in Hawaii earlier this week on Monday and Tuesday when it was nasty here, and just jealous. Want to go back.
How nasty was it? I mean, it was a little rainy. It felt like October, but that's football weather.
It's
okay.
Nasty. I don't like
bad.
rain.
You don't like rain because it makes you work. Are you just lazy? Are you a lazy millennial?
No, rain makes it to where I'm not out working. We have rain days where we just have to do stuff around the office, and that sucks. I hate those days. I'd rather be outside doing things.
Are you allowed to wear anything you want to at work?
No.
You can't wear your Boss Hog merch?
Nope, I can't because
you can't dress in your.
Well, here's the deal: if you get caught in a flash and you have a shirt on that has screen print on it, then you will forever be branded with the screen printing.
I'm willing to make that sacrifice.
So you better wear something cool.
If you get Boss Hog screen printed and then you get a little flash and then your whole chest is a free Boss Hog tattoo, how is that a bad thing?
Is there a downside?
I guess
that would be pretty cool.
They make a fire retardant screen print, so maybe I should add that to T-Chip.
Yeah, I was gonna say we should check our T-Chip and see if you get flame retardant
see
is
if that's
an
option.
Jared, when are you gonna get your tattoo?
What did I agree to get a tattoo from? I got a lot of side bets going in life. Chase, remind me which one I'm supposed to get with you.
You said that you would get a tattoo after we hit 1,000 downloads on the podcast, and we have hit that consistently, and you've still not made good on that bet.
I thought it was 1,000 a month in Patreon.
I stopped listening.
No,
1,000 a month in Patreon.
We didn't even have a Patreon when we made this bet.
Jerry, I thought your word was gold.
I did too.
I think we need to get a hold of Chad Rowe.
You know what?
What tattoo?
You know what, Betsy? If a man doesn't keep his word, he's no man at all.
What
No
tattoo
man
did
at
I
all.
commit to for
Or
this?
woman.
What tattoo did I commit to?
I don't know.
I think the Boss Hog of...
I think
don't
actually
know.
you said it was the Indy 500 logo.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure that legal entity of Jeremiah Morrell
It was
exists
my-
anymore. That was before I got
was my
married. And
handprint.
now,
Did you change?
No, you are the same person.
now
Did you-
I'm a
Are
partnership.
you Jeremiah Morrell Potter?
No, well, Jeremiah
it
Morrell doesn't
hyphenated?
exist,
Hold on.
and now the
Very
estate.
progressive.
If he had taken that name, that wouldn't impugn his mandate.
Yeah.
But
I didn't say it would. I'm just.
You said
he's-
you
it's a
get my
very progressive
handprint
man.
on your butt.
Potter's a fine name. I'm standing up for my new friends.
Yeah, they're voters.
What's up?
They are definitely at-large voters in Henry County.
I wasn't even thinking about it that way,
Yeah,
but that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, Betsy,
Convenient.
we're going to get into your announcement here in a little while, but it's the whole damn county you got to worry about now.
I know, it's
You
so much work.
It's so much more.
I'm excited. No, it's going to be great.
It's so much more.
It's a lot more doors to hit.
It's not
so
just
many doors.
Not just the
It's only
people.
50.
But I have a lot more
50,000.
friends than I did 2 years ago.
Yeah.
That's
It's
the
not just the
difference.
people of Knightstown and Middletown.
No. I've got a lot of friends now. So it's
Oh,
all
it's
good.
so much. All right, Chase, you're back.
I'm back,
You
baby.
look okay.
I'm here.
You don't look like this killed you. You're a millennial. You're not supposed to work hard. What
I
the hell
survived.
happened?
People said I'd only last maybe 6 weeks
I
at
thought
the most.
I thought you would literally crash your truck, working two
Well,
jobs at the same time.
It
I
got
thought
to
you'd
a
fall asleep
point
at the wheel.
Where I started falling asleep on the highway, dozing off for a split second. And then I was like, you know what? I should probably stop doing this.
What was your job? Like your not what you were doing, but your work schedule. You woke
So-
up at what time? Where did you have to be and when? Because this was horrible, and it cut in. We fished literally twice this year. That's it. So I'm very upset.
There were 2 stages. I worked 2 jobs full time for 10 weeks. My schedule during that time, I would wake up Monday at, I don't remember. I had to be in at 8.
All
I
right.
got in at 8.
We'll say you got up at 6:30.
Worked till, well, no, I had to be in at 7:30. So I was there at 7:30, got off at 3:30, got home at 4:30, had to get back up at 7:30 p.m., go to work at 8, get off at 6:30, go straight to work, get back off at 3:30, get 2 hours of sleep.
So you were working 2 full-time jobs and you got 2 hours of sleep a night.
Yes, Monday through Friday.
Please tell me it was good money.
It was decent.
Okay,
I mean,
good.
He
got that
lasted.
job done.
That's a lot.
We need to give Chase a round of applause because he lasted way longer than what any of us thought.
10 weeks, and then after that, I went part-time at my other job.
So this
and
is
then it
this is
wasn't
where
as
this is
bad.
where the first part of the ridicule comes in, because you went in to quit.
Which
You
time?
went to work and you said I'm gonna quit this job, and your supervisor just put on the crocodile tears.
Yeah, so there came to a point where I got a little weak. I think it was 10 weeks in because I was still working full time. I was like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. I'm going to die. So I went in and I was like, hey, I'm going to have to put in my 2 weeks. And she just started crying. And I just kind of stood there. And I'm awkward when people start crying. And I was like,
We should have cried, and maybe he wouldn't have quit on us.
Maybe.
yeah, I was like, I'm sorry. She was like, are people quitting because of me? I was like, I don't know. I was like, that's not why I'm
You
quitting.
broke this poor woman's heart.
And she was like, I'll give you a raise if you stay. You can go to part-time. And I was like, okay. So I did part-time until about a week ago.
And what did part-time sound like there?
Part-time
Does that mean you got
was-
3 hours of sleep a night, or what?
Man, I thought I got about 4 or 5. 4 or 5. I worked from 7:30 to 12.
So you're still going 5 days a week over there.
Well, I started going 5 days a week, and then I was like, screw this. And I took Monday off, so I was going 4 days a week.
So you did that until recently, and now you've started a new career.
Yes.
Now you are a electrician's apprentice.
I'm a
working
man.
for Brisket Electric, right?
Brisket Electric, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But your apprenticeship is through the Associated Builders and Contractors in Muncie, right?
Possibly. Yeah, possibly. You might find me there on a certain night of the week.
There we go.
Yep.
So how's life as a first year right now?
Well,
I've lived it.
Let's see.
It's not that great.
Monday kind of sucked. I was nervous and I couldn't sleep Sunday night, so I woke up. I worked night shift the week before that, so I was still switching my sleep schedule. So I couldn't sleep Sunday night. Got up at 5. Got home at 5 the next day. I was up for like 30 hours because I had class. I had class Monday night and everything. Didn't learn a whole lot. I mean, it was like stupid stuff like safety. And it wasn't that stupid. It was cool. And then
At what point do they start being like, okay, guys, you have to pay attention to this voltage? Like 9 volts, no big deal. 110 volts, they don't
You
care.
start feeling voltage at 22 volts.
yes.
So
They said that you've learned that in class.
No, they said just don't be an idiot.
Don't be stupid.
and fire alarm systems operate generally at 24 volts, and you can feel it, but it's like you can barely feel it. It just seems like it's a strange feeling. And I was working on a fire alarm system one time, and I'm touching it with my bare hands, and whenever I would lean my elbow against metal conduit
to complete a circuit.
I would feel it, and I'd be like, man, there's like something on that conduit. That's like, and I kept like,
What's wrong with
resting
it?
my arm in the same
So
spot.
Monday was pretty boring. Basically, all they did was go over like policies and stuff, company policies. Tuesday was pretty boring. It was all safety, stuff you've heard at every job you've ever been to. Wednesday was pretty cool. We started getting into it. I learned a little bit. They taught me how to use the boom lift.
Ooh.
There you go.
That was cool.
Did they let you like get up in the air, or did you just get to?
Listen, I got as far as I could, and then the wind started blowing, and my butt puckered a little bit.
And you started thinking,
It's
"This
scary.
killed a kid at Notre Dame. Put me down."
Yeah, my butt. And they have you do this after they show the videos of the people dying over and over again. So you're a little nervous.
They look way more sturdy on the ground whenever you're looking up at someone in them. And then you get up, and even if the wind's less than 10 miles an hour, it's just rocking that.
Yeah, so I'm up high, and I'm like this.
Dakota drives a boom lift for a living.
Yeah.
Theoretically.
The buckets are, I like the buckets more because you're kind of like surrounded. It's more enclosed, and you're controlling it all with one thing, and the controls aren't as confusing as a boom lift.
Does a bucket truck have stabilizer jacks on it, or is it so those get put down too? So it's not just the wheels.
I learned how to do a scissor lift. That wasn't as bad.
Ooh, that sounds fancy.
It's not that fancy.
Have you been on a job site yet?
My first day on a job site is Tuesday because we get Monday off.
Are you allowed to
next
put
week.
stickers on your hard hat?
We are.
You are? All right.
We are.
No larger than a business card, I would imagine, is the rule.
I mean, they're pretty.
Yeah.
You know,
Standard.
Your regular hat.
Can you have you put a bear sticker on there yet? You ordered one?
I haven't.
Yeah, what are you planning to do with your helmet? This is your canvas.
I don't even know. I'm a little intimidated because some guys have a lot of stickers, and I just don't know what kind of worker I am yet.
Do you need a Betsy Mills for County Council sticker?
I might.
All right.
That seems pretty damn cool.
It's the
one.
process.
I feel like we can get you a Boss Hog sticker.
Every job that you go to, they will give you a
Every job site.
Yeah, every job site you go to, they'll give you a sticker from the safety orientation, and it just kind of builds over time. And different contractors will give you stickers, and it builds per job site, and that's.
See, I work in an industry
like
where we have
scars.
We have hard hats, but we're not allowed to put any stickers on them. They're just for our company.
So you have lame hats.
I have a very lame hard hat that I have to wear. Like
you're one of the guys. Whenever you see him coming on a construction site,
he's the guy that doesn't belong.
You're like, look at that noob.
Yeah,
You're like,
that guy doesn't really work.
Stay away from that guy.
He's just coming out here and he doesn't know what he's doing.
Today I learned how to bend conduit. And
did you use a mandrel or did you do it on your own?
Hand bender,
just with your hand.
Bender. Yeah, a hand bender.
Yeah,
And then what?
A triple nickel bender.
I forget what it was.
The
called.
triple nickels, or we'll have to talk later.
It was like this.
It's very. That's an excellent. That's an excellent.
I said a hand bender. I knew that part.
It's a podcast, buddy. You got to use words to describe.
I learned
making hand gestures is only helpful in the studio.
I learned how to wire up an output.
An outlet.
An outlet.
You shouldn't use say output. I'm pretty sure that's not an industry term.
I haven't, to be honest, I haven't read my book yet. I had
Chase is 6 hours into this.
Isn't this stuff like that?
My supervisor was like, "Listen, you'll go to the job site, and this is the perfect time for you guys because everyone's gonna know you're stupid. Like everyone's gonna know you're an idiot. So feel free to ask questions."
The first
They're just
job,
happy to have a warm body that shows up, so they'll teach you from there.
The first job that I was on, I wasn't an actual apprentice yet. I was an electrician's helper, and it was just a summer help job. And the journeyman that I was working under, he just called me Fred for the whole summer. And one time, whenever I asked him why he kept calling me Fred, he said, "You're never going to make it, so I'm not going to bother learning your real name." And then the same guy, whenever I made it into the apprenticeship and got sworn into the union, came to the swearing in and stood up and cheered for me and was like, "I knew you'd make it, brother." That's not what you told me 3 months ago.
I think he was a big Bob and Tom fan for calling you Fred.
You think so?
Didn't know what his name was, so we just called him Fred. That's it.
But it seems like a pretty cool job. So
I'm watching the chat, and it is going crazy, worried about everybody wearing sunglasses in here. And there are different agendas as to why people are wearing sunglasses.
If it makes you feel better, I just got drug tested, and I passed.
Congratulations.
That's great.
I'm glad you studied for your test.
It was hard.
You're trying to look like a Bears fan. You're posing with your sunglasses.
I look like a famous quarterback.
Hey, those shades look good. They look really good.
I look like a famous quarterback.
I feel camaraderie with you.
You look like Jim Harbaugh.
Jim McMahon, dude. The best quarterback of history.
How many snaps did you watch Jim McMahon take in your life?
The ones I've seen him hand off to Walter Peyton.
Jim Miller.
The highlights.
Who's the first Bears quarterback in your life?
Rex Grossman.
Sexy Rexy. And Betsy
won that Super Bowl for my Colts.
But like the first quarterback I actually watched on a consistent basis, it was Jay Cutler.
God, you're so young. He makes me feel so old, Betsy. He makes me feel so old. It's terrible. All right. But yet you have this 85 Bears swagger that makes no sense.
Every Bears fan.
For a guy born in 1989. When were you born, Chase?
95.
Yeah.
10 years later.
Yeah. 1995.
Yeah.
When Sterling Marlin won the Daytona 500.
You were like 32 years old at that time.
1995, I was, God.
You were working your current job.
No, not quite. Not quite. I was probably a Blue River Optimist baseball player at as a pitcher's helper because I wasn't good enough to be in the league.
You hadn't dropped out of school yet.
No. Betsy's wearing sunglasses because she's a rock star.
Yes.
Last night she was protecting the governor down at the Dollar factory.
Big rock stars living here.
Yeah, so I feel so lame constantly having to say this, but 6 weeks ago, tomorrow,
there was an incident.
There was an incident, a boat. I was jumped off the back of a
I saw this
pontoon.
video on the internet where the whole family's riding in the boat and then they hit the wave and they all smack down on the side.
No, I wish. No, it was so serene, so nice. We spent this weekend in Ohio with my aunt and uncle and my cousin and his family. No, it was Apple Valley Lake, northeast of Columbus, and I love my family and don't get to see them. I don't get to see them nearly enough, and it was a really chill weekend. We're literally getting ready to leave from the boat and go back and pack up and go back to Indiana. And I jumped off the top of the boat after my 70-year-old uncle, and I hit my head on the water, not on the boat, on the water like this. It was about 70 feet deep too. And I concussed myself pretty good. And I thought I'd get over it. I didn't get over it. That was a Friday. That next Tuesday was the big wind hearing at Bundy. I had to give a speech that night. I could barely see straight. It was like a 5-hour public meeting. I was there from like 4:30 until like 10:30 that night. It was insane.
You did great though.
Thank you.
So,
I am proud of that because I was shaking by the end. I could barely see straight.
The audio of Betsy's presentation is actually in our feed. If you guys scroll back about a month or so, it's in there.
So, and I was proud of my performance because I was truly feeling horrible. And I actually went to the ER after that to get my scans, which came back okay. I'm just concussed. But since then, I've been really light sensitive and sound sensitive and like a few other things. I was really angry for a couple weeks. I guess that's a concussion symptom. I was really irritable. Now I think my mood's back to normal. But concussions are no joke. It's really messed with me a lot. At like my busiest time of year with travel and new semester and all of this, so I feel like a dope for wearing sunglasses everywhere, but literally the lights kill me.
Well, and
would it make you more comfortable if we turned all the lights off in the studio and just did this in the dark? Because it is a podcast.
I mean,
the hell with the studio audience.
But they look good too. Like I'm Anna Windsoring myself right now.
I think you look pretty cool.
Thank you. You look
back
good
in
too,
like
brother.
2007. I got concussed, and on the way to the hospital, I kept waking back up, and I pass out, and I wake back up again. And each time I go, "Hey, Mom, this is like 51st dates." It was probably funny the first time, but after you say it like 13 times in 20 minutes,
it's
such a big deal that you were able to make that speech because there's no way to explain the feeling of just total body illness the day after a concussion.
It is so disorienting. And I've had students over the years who are like, "Oh, I have a concussion." I'm like, "Yeah, turn in your essay, whatever."
Nobody cares.
I actually work with students a lot when they communicate with me. I like to think I'm really lenient and understanding, but it has rocked me really, really hard. As soon as if I'm in the car for 5 minutes driving, like I just have an insane headache. I've had a headache for 6 weeks. It's just how much does it hurt? So it's been kind of a bummer, but
it screws you up for a while.
Yeah.
Like I had moments where I was like, "Is this reality?"
Right.
And it made it worse because, like, I don't know, like 2 weeks later, I was at school, and my friend Corey was like, "Hey, man, I bet I could put you in a headlock and make you pass out." And I was like, "No, you can't." And then he did it, and I passed out and hit the bathroom floor, and I'm pretty sure I got concussed again.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, but it was fun.
So this is the Boss Hog of Liberty podcast. Jeremiah Morrell, Dakota Davis, 10-second Tom over here, and Betsy Mills. watching the chat. Mason Rottinghouse is in here, and he's saying you have a Brian Greasy problem, is what it is. He says you tripped over your dog and bumped your head, and you don't want to admit what really happened.
That would be cool too. And my dog is always in the way, but there are witnesses from. I mean, it's all good.
Yeah, there are documents.
Yeah.
It's the
You
truth.
have a great corgi, and whenever you keep advancing through Indiana politics, and I can't wait to see pictures of your dog as Eric Holcomb is leaving the governor's mansion with Henry. And, like you guys are shaking hands and your dog and his dog are sniffing each other's butts.
I love Henry so much. He's such a good dog.
Have you met Henry?
Yeah, he
you've
was
held
at our
Henry.
Lincoln Day.
Did you walk him? Have you picked up Henry's
I have
stuff?
not,
I mean, is this how intimate are you with Henry?
I know Henry's handlers very well, and they are awesome. Jared is really good at that.
Whoa, Henry has people?
Oh yeah, Henry's got people.
I don't even have
has
people.
handlers.
Is Henry a prop for the governor, or does
no.
Henry really live with the governor? What are we discovering now?
Team Holcomb is obviously the governor, who I think is amazing. His lovely wife Janet, chirp chirp, Ball State alum, and she came to our Lincoln Day, and Henry came as well. They were our guests, and they were outstanding. They were just so fun to host. We had a really good time with them. I got to interview the first lady on stage. It was supposed to be her giving a speech, and then a couple days before, she was like, her team was like, let's change this up, and it's actually going to be a moderated interview. So I just scrambled for these questions, and I worked really hard at it, did a lot of research, talked to people.
Were they all Ball State questions?
No, there were a few. There were a few.
She smirks.
I can't help
coyly.
it, chirp chirp, got my ring on. But no, it's
You've got a Ball State license plate on your
I
car.
do. I have
you're
a new
intense.
Ball State license plate. Yeah, I'm as hardcore as one can be for Ball State. My whole family went there. Like, they gave me a full ride to go there. I did my master's there. It's where I met my partner. Like, my sisters went there. My mom went there.
And these people won't hire you to teach there?
I get paid really good money to teach for Penn State. So, I working for Ball State, maybe it's a smaller department. But my benefits and my job with Penn State are really, really good. And that department is very much in line with my interests and my studies. And so it's weird to say, like, I have an out-of-state job, but whatever.
But it travels. It works well, and in the modern economy, it works for you.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, our generation, we do a lot of the remote working, and I'm very passionate about my job, and I feel extremely lucky. So they're very supportive of me and what I'm doing here. So
Very cool. Chase, you're on the sports desk. Are you ready with NFL scores for us?
Give me 5 minutes.
Betsy,
Bengals 3, Colts 0, 10:32 to play in the second.
you can turn around and see that.
Oh, the Colts still have a team?
We'll talk about that
hey,
later.
low blow, Rexy, sexy. No,
The last time that
Listen.
you were on the show, it was episode 106.
okay.
Jim
We-
Kelly's nephew is playing. It's going very well.
Let's see. Cleveland Lions 0-0.
But
Falcons Ravens 13-0 Falcons.
once again, these
There's
are
a
week
bunch of
4.
scores.
These are week 4 preseason scores in a podcast that somebody's going to time shift. So this is very important. What else do you have?
As you're listening to this 2 weeks down the road,
0-3 Bengals.
Hey, okay, I need an
Colts
update.
suck.
We have the U.S. women's national team playing Portugal. It started at 7. Give me an update.
And that was 3 seconds of soccer.
Hey, the other football. Come on.
Listen, Betsy, I fully support you.
Thank you.
But you lose my support when it comes to soccer.
Oh man,
Betsy brought her. Is that a hand towel? What is that thing you
it's
brought?
a secret for later.
Oh,
You're blowing it.
I won't say anything.
Okay,
blew it.
Swag Kelly's 7 for 8 with 78 yards and 1 interception.
Oh,
It appears, though,
so
the
he's
U.S.
7 out
team
of
is
7.
up 2-0.
Yeah, okay.
2-0 USA.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Who are the
that's-
goals?
I don't know.
I don't know. A couple of
Find out
women.
later.
Oh, look at that pass. Colts just got a 30, 40, 45-yard run. Who's number 15, Betsy? Do we know who we love yet? It's Ingram. I don't even know. That was fancy. It was a nice little slip screen and 15 yards down the middle. The Colts are playing the Bungles down in Cincinnati on the river.
The Bungles is my favorite team,
Because of the helmets.
just because the Bungles.
The Bungles, yeah.
You love your Skyline chili and your Cincinnati Bungles.
I mean,
yeah.
you do weekend down that way, so they're
Oh, well, that's
once you get
true.
past Rushville, it's pretty much Bengal country.
Love the river.
It really is.
Grew up on that river. Love it.
All right, so Betsy, it's your birthday weekend.
It is.
You were on last time you were on the show was episode 106. We talked about the Luger series. We talked about wind farms a little bit. There's been some updates on that. We've talked about it on the edges a little bit, but
Right.
the developer approved for commission approved use, tied 4-4, didn't go anywhere. I unplugged Dakota, so I'm going to try to do this. Tied 4-4, no approval was in place, possible legalities, but it sounds like the developer basically packed up and moved out of town. So maybe
They're not
we're
done.
Maybe we're done.
No, they're never done.
Are you just holding on to this as like a fundraising issue, like abortion at this point?
No, I mean they're just not done. I mean at this point I feel like with Calpine it's personal. I feel like they're desperate to be here. It's almost a vendetta. I don't think it's done at all.
They have spent a lot of
They're
money.
going to do their very best to take these small towns to court. At the same time, at the State House, you have summer studies that are trying to look at removing local control for turbine placement and making it a state level issue, which I vehemently disagree with. So, is wind dead? No. I mean they've got a setback with the Planning Commission. They could take it to court.
Where did the summer study committee thing come from?
I just heard about it in the last couple of days.
Did they? Because I didn't hear about a summer study committee being appointed before. Is this coming out of a different committee that exists, like an energy committee, or what's the?
I can look into that and get back to you.
All right.
I'm
I'm curious.
Sure, but I do know that they're actually examining. Can instead of it being the county level, can we do this at a state level? Which to me seems like I don't understand that logically at all.
Yeah,
it's going to be an issue.
We also talked to you about the Henry County Jail because you were involved with that process. I want to know, have you fixed it yet? Is it all?
It's all fixed. It's brand new. Everybody's happy. No,
well, that was quick.
Yeah, wow.
No,
All right, we're gonna get a Staples next.
Yeah,
easy button.
No, so various committees from the commissioners took a trip today to Stryker, Ohio, and they have a facility there that is not just.
Is it the Lucas County Jail or something? Where are they going?
Maybe I didn't write down the actual counties, but it's 4 counties, a federal marshal facility, and the state of Ohio. So it's this complex, and so a group from our county went. They left at 6 a.m. today to go check that out, and because we're looking at a regional facility, that seemed like a good place to go and look. And I wasn't able to make it because I was out late last night with the governor, so and other people. But no, it was a good time down in Indy at Dollara. But Dollara. Okay,
I'll be the expert on this one.
Thank you.
It's
I know
Dollara.
that's your wheelhouse.
They're very Italian.
Yeah,
Dollara.
And the sheriff has spoken a lot lately about wanting better options. I know the county council has definitely spoken in recognition of this. Not just before we get to the jail concept, but we've got to do something now. Like time is ticking. Federal judges are breathing down the throats of our county and our leaders. We really want to avoid a federal judge making a decision for us. We want to keep that control local. It's a really tough position with these lawsuits. So I know they spoke about doing something on the secure side, the vacant side of the Henry County Youth Center. One side is True Harbor, which is a place for sex trafficking victims to be rehabilitated and treated. And that's,
and I didn't know about that place.
It's really cool.
Just a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, it's I think it's a really neat thing that we're hosting and clearly necessary. It's sex trafficking is.
It's tied in with a group out of Muncie that's been around for a while.
It's connected to the YOC somehow. Right?
Yeah, the Youth Opportunity Center, which is out almost in Yorktown, kind of the west side of Muncie, over by the Borg Warner site that didn't get developed.
Right.
So we're looking at the other side of it to what house overflow inmates.
Yeah, and that's an issue too because there's got to be a lot of barriers. You've got
touchdown Colts,
young people. All right. You've got people
Chad
on
Kelly.
one side. You've got to have the other side completely secure. I don't know that that's even a feasible option, but I do know council's been speaking about it a lot. I mean,
we know that Butch Baker had brought that up back before.
While he was county commissioner.
While he was county commissioner and this is before anything had been done with that facility after it was the youth center of just turning that whole facility into the jail and it got shot down. Hopefully some of that, because it's already a pretty secure location, can be utilized for a reasonable amount of money and try to ease some of the burden on the county coffers.
So Betsy, you made a very impressive run for the county council in 2018.
Yeah.
God, the years blend together.
I know, it's wild.
So you were in a 4-way primary race,
right?
And came very, very, very close.
I was heartbroken that night.
Me too, buddy. Me too. 32 votes. Yeah.
So you came within 32 of Councilwoman Steffendale, who upset Councilman Duggar at the time.
Yeah, I was really proud of that too. I mean, my campaign was me, my mom, some buddies from college who helped me with a few things, and some other people helped me put out signs. Like it was really shoestring budget. Really, it was just a lot of hard work, and I was really.
Well, you had a big appearance on the Boss Hog podcast.
I did, and that was
such a big part of it.
Such a boost. But
it's the night Chase fell in love.
We both did. It was mutual. No, it was. I was really proud of that, and I think a lot of people were like, who are you? Where did you come from? And I'm like, I'm from here. I went to Shenandoah K through 12. I've lived here my whole life. My family's at the same farm. I've only known one house, but I did leave the state to take a good job teaching for Penn State. And now I've come home for various reasons, and I'm here, and I really want to be involved. I could live anywhere doing my job.
At the end of that show, I begged you. I said, no matter what,
I know.
please don't leave.
Right.
No matter what happens, win, lose, or draw, just stay involved.
And that meant a lot to me.
And here you are. We're still going.
I've never forgotten those words, and I don't think I would have left anyway, but I appreciate it.
Oh, I'm taking full credit. Yeah,
please do, and you're welcome to do so. No, and
the show's taking credit. I'm not personally doing it, but as a community, the
Right.
show, the Boss Hog Empire, we are taking full credit and responsibility for Betsy in this new venture that you've announced this last couple of weeks.
We broke the news last week. We got it out before the Courier Times did.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love
Our
Henry
media
County.
partner.
That's right.
Please like and subscribe.
I love Henry County.
Yeah.
I love East Central Indiana. I could live anywhere. I legitimately could live anywhere. But the problem is I don't care about anywhere. I care about Henry County. I care about East Central Indiana. I care about Indiana. And so that's why I'm here, and I want to see positive change. And I'm really excited about all the conversations I've had with people like you guys, like friends from high school that I have worked with really closely. I think of Steve Thompson, who's our new township trustee for Fall Creek.
He's doing a hell of a job trying to eliminate his job.
How cool is that? And I mean, we're still researching. We're still learning. Who knows if that's going to work or not? I am of the opinion we need to research and research honestly. But that consolidation is a really interesting idea. I see a young leader, Ryan Ballard, who just got elected to Delaware County Council, and his family owns a funeral parlor in Middletown. I think of Josh Anderson, who is the president of Fabicab in Middletown, which is an amazing startup elevator company my sister works for, and I've worked with them really closely. And just conversations with people like that. We do a lot of lunches, conversations with people like you, conversations with people who aren't our generation, who are like, you know what? We want to see positive change. We want to make a difference. And I see those wheels turning, and it just really fires me up. It gets me really excited. I wrote this in my letter announcing my candidacy, but I think Henry County's best days are in front of us. And that's a wild thing to say. I'm sure people roll their eyes. I don't care. I think it's coming. I'm very, very excited. So that's why I'm here and continue to be here.
So you drive through Middletown now, and you drive kind of on the outside of Middletown and around Highway 36 in that area. And there's a lot of things going on in Middletown, and the town itself is really cleaned up a lot.
Right.
And we just don't hear a lot about that in the rest of Henry County.
Right. And and I know, I think Middletown folk, so I don't live in Middletown. I'm actually in Jefferson Township, but Middletown is home to me. I've worked for the police station for a long time, dispatching. My mom's worked at the library for almost 20 years. My sister works for Fabicab, even though she's their East Coast sales rep and lives in New York City. But Middletown is home for us. And that's what I consider home. And I'm
the same way. Newcastle is home, even though I live in Henry Township, and I'm outside of the restrictive government clause of Newcastle. It's still home.
Mayor York.
Just for now.
I'm proud to see Middletown starting to consider its future, not just like flying by the seat of its pants, but really considering what does 5 years look like, 10 years, 15, 20. You've got to have vision. You've got to have vision to build, and you've got to start somewhere. And we're starting to have those conversations, and it delights me. It's really
Where do
really
you see
motivating.
yourself in 5 years?
Me, 5 years? Oh, gosh.
How much time has the governor got left in his?
Oh gosh, and I'm
Open
Stop
up,
it.
Dakota. Open up.
This isn't my wedding night.
Well,
5 years.
I remember feeding your wife on your wedding night, but I don't remember feeding you. We went to
man, it
McDonald's
got
drive-through. Yeah,
Pinky.
yeah. That was.
Oh gosh,
yeah.
5 years. To answer that question, I don't exactly know. I'd love to be in office. I'd love to be making positive change. What level that is, I don't know yet. We'll see.
All right, Betsy, serious question. You said you could live anywhere. If you didn't live in Henry County, where would you want to live?
Oh my god.
Henry County, Kentucky.
Honestly, I mean, like, I love to visit places. You guys know I travel constantly. Last night was the first night in my bed in 2 weeks. I've been all over the East Coast for trips and work. There's not like a specific place I'd like, I'd really like to live there. I think I'd love to spend more time in England. I love England. I've been.
America's not good enough for you.
See,
I mean, but I love
man.
England. But I'm so proud to be an American. It's ridiculous. I could not be more patriotic.
On a scale of being proud to be an American.
I mean, if you had kids, you have to live here now. Your president said you have
Toby
you can't-
Keith.
What'd you say?
Said on a scale of being proud to be an American, 10 being Toby Keith.
Okay.
1 being Lee Greenwood.
Yeah, okay.
know,
Where would you put yourself?
I'm 10 out of 10.
All right,
I love
Full on Toby Keith.
I love America. I'm so proud to be an American. I have 3 direct links to the Mayflower. I have
Field
family.
goal. The field goal is no
Okay,
good.
the game.
Nathaniel Bradford for me. If you have
One
Bradford,
being
then
Hitler.
we're family.
Oh
And
my
10
God.
being Ronald Reagan. How American are you?
I'm gonna go with Ronnie, baby. Give me Ronnie all day.
She is literally not Hitler.
That was
Ronnie.
a softball.
The Bengals just missed a field goal.
I'm glad
7-3
you-
So-
Indianapolis.
See, people, she's choosing Henry County over living in England. I'd vote for her.
I mean, I do love British culture. I love British.
Are you
TV.
going to vote this year? Or not
Maybe.
this year, I
It
guess
depends
next year?
who's
You
in
can
my
vote for me
district.
this time.
Yeah, this time
Yeah.
you were in Betsy's
Oh,
district.
Everybody
I'll
can vote
vote
for
for
me
you.
again. All right.
He could vote for Chad last time, and he didn't.
He forgot.
That's because I knew he had it in the bag. though.
Chase was literally
He didn't. So that's
Chase
cool.
was literally biting his nails, going, "Oh shit, I forgot to vote.
Oh no.
I hope my friend doesn't lose by one."
Guys, I've never voted.
You won. Chat crushed it. It's all good.
Oh man. Okay, so this is an interesting election for you though, because Councilman Thalls announced his retirement at
Right.
the end of December.
Right.
So there's going to be a Team Elephant
Vacancy.
caucus
Right.
in December to fill out 1 year, and then you've announced your candidacy
That's right.
for the race that actually starts filing in January for that seat. There will be a May primary and a November election for people that take office the following January. So
Right.
there's a 1 year appointment period, and then you actually see the voters almost immediately. So you're the only announced candidate at this point for
I believe Harold is officially announced.
no, I'm sorry. The only announced candidate for the Mike Thalls appointment.
Am I?
I think you've announced that you're in that one too. Or do we want to break more news?
We can break that news. I deeply, deeply respect Mike Thalls and his service to the county. We've got that Ball State connection. Chirp, chirp. I went to high school with his granddaughters. I love his family. I think his son is great. When that caucus arises, whenever that happens to be, I do expect to vie for that. So,
Okay. So you're in the
Breaking news, I
Team
guess.
Elephant sweepstakes there.
That's right. We'll see.
And then there are 3 seats that are open.
Right.
You've announced that you're interested in planning on running in that.
Right.
Harold has announced that he wants to run again.
Right.
And we kind of got an announcement from Councilman Morgan that if
Right.
there's only 3, then maybe he's going to run again too. So there's at least 3 names.
I wonder if there's going to be a few more names that come out.
If we get past that, then it starts to get crowded, and
Right.
and we have some clickbait ratings coming our way.
True.
So
Clay doesn't.
Hurry
Clay
up.
was like on here, and he's like, if someone else that I like runs, then I'm just gonna let them have it. Good for him.
Let me know if I need to kill someone.
He was just.
Chase, do you wanna
He's
run
doing
for-
okay so far, but I'll
Chase,
let
do you want to
know.
run for the county council?
Listen, Betsy, I think that Clay said that
The
just
look
so,
I just got.
just so that he could try to convince Jeremiah to run again. Mm-hmm. I think that's what it was.
Oh,
Jump in, the more the merrier.
I
I
think
don't
I'm,
know if I could handle another heartbreak.
I think I'm washing my hair that year. I don't know. I'm not certain what's happening yet. It's all very, very early. Very early. So have you you've stayed involved in the conversation.
Right.
Have you just always said, okay, if it doesn't work this time, we're going to give it another shot?
Yes.
Or that's just you're ready.
My go-to line is I'll run for dog catcher, which we don't have a dog catcher. I'm not trying to create more government.
Growing government, Betsy Mills.
I'm not trying to create more government. No, I as soon as I lost, and honestly, I worked very, very hard on that campaign. I think we ran a really professional campaign. I was everywhere. I was really, really, really proud of the effort. As soon as I lost, I knew I was going to go right back to it. I wasn't sure exactly what. I wanted to consider all my options, consider my talent, where are my talents best placed? Where's the best fit?
You
South
found your
Beach.
special purpose.
Sure. And council seems to be that. And I'm proud of the direction they're heading in. I know, fiscal responsibility is a very big deal. They're really starting to consider infrastructure. I mean, these are not new things, but I think those are special focuses. And I want to add to that. I want to bring to my skill set to that conversation. I'm a good problem solver. I have fresh eyes. I know how to communicate. I know how to contextualize things for people. I'm really concerned about economic development, and I looked as a young person. I think I'd be about the youngest person on council by a decade. So I'm not too young, but I think I'm young enough.
You're just accusing Chad Malakota of being too old and out of touch,
well,
aren't
Chad's
you?
great, but
his youth and inexperience is.
I'm no longer. I guess I could say today I'm early 30s. Tomorrow I'm mid 30s because I go from 33 to 34. But
it's all a matter of what scale.
Sure.
Jeremiah still calls himself mid or early 30s, and he's way past that.
Now I can't. No, I have to say I'm not old 30s. I'm mid 30s because I'm 36.
Oh,
sure.
You're
Chase and I are like the same age.
You're almost late 30s. You know what? I hear mid 30s, and you know what? That just sounds like a person who's very wise.
Thank you.
You've just punched your ticket for more boat rides.
I'm excited. I've gotten a lot of really good feedback. The party's been very encouraging to me.
I'm sorry, which party was that?
It's Team Elephant for me.
All right. Yeah.
Love you guys. I'm really happy to be a member of our central committee. I really get along with everybody, and they've been just really encouraging to me and just different folks in the community. I'm really excited. I think this is going to be a good run, and I plan to throw everything into it that I need to and more.
Are you supporting a presidential candidate yet? I know that
that's a really good question.
There was
I have short-term memory loss right now. So.
Bill Weld said he was running. There's a former congressman from Illinois that said he was running.
Hey, a lady never tells.
And then the current
What's on
president.
that ballot?
You can't just
a lady never.
You
tells.
can't just endorse the guy that's holding the office.
A lady never kisses and tells or votes and tells.
Man, oh
I thought you knew that, Jeremiah. I thought you were a gentleman.
Because Betsy's gonna pull a Democrat ballot and vote. That
would be
Yang
such
Gang.
a bad idea. That would be a really bad idea.
That would be a hell of a day.
Listen, guys, I'm a
Then all of
Bernie
a sudden-
bro. Peace.
You're gonna give everything away for free, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
I like free shit.
I've probably given more money to Democrats this year than I have Republicans, to be honest. I've made donations to Tulsi Gabbard. I've made donations to a number of the folks that I'm trying to make sure get on the debate stage. They've gamified the Democrat debates.
Yeah, they really have. Man, those debates are wild.
If you want to, they're screwing my girl Tulsi over right now.
They really are.
What about Marianne Williamson and the memes?
Crystal
I am
Girl?
living for those. Yeah, Crystal.
That's the hashtag orb game.
She's so wild. I mean, I can't take her seriously, but man, do I love those memes.
The memes.
She's
have been
wild.
great.
I just want to. I mean, the crazy stuff she's.
But you know what? Her campaign
delights
right
me.
now is where Donald Trump's campaign was in 2015. Everybody's just laughing about the guy that hosted The Apprentice and making memes.
She hangs out with Oprah. Who knows where that's going?
Yeah, it.
Joe Biden's
Anything
still
can
running
happen.
away with it. Nobody's paying that
Are you
much
serious?
attention yet.
There's
Biden's
no
still up
energy
by
behind
double
him.
digits.
There's no energy.
He
Nah,
could die
you can't-
any time.
No,
It's
I don't
I think
either.
that Biden's campaign slogan is Joe Biden, stick with the status quo.
Right. I just see no
That's it.
energy behind his eyes.
No.
And I don't
Low
fall for
energy
that.
Joe.
But have
I
you
just think
had
it's
him rub
over.
your shoulders yet?
No, thank God.
Maybe if he smelled your hair, you'd think differently.
I mean, my hair smells awesome. I use really good product, but no, just no.
creepy Uncle Joe.
No. I honestly, my speculation is I think it goes down to 3 people. And this is just my gut instinct. I think Bernie drops out. He's lethargic at this point. I think Warren absorbs his energy, and she's very feisty. Pete is hanging in there. I think he'll be a vice presidential candidate, and I wonder if Harris might do something interesting. I'm not saying I
think that-
Well, she
those
hasn't locked anybody up in 5 minutes. So
I think
Yeah,
it comes
well-
down to Warren, Biden, and Bernie. And I think that Buttigieg drops out and then seeks a Democrat nomination for governor of Indiana.
I don't see it happening. I mean, he's going to get crushed by Holcomb. Holcomb is so strong. He's raised so much money. The lieutenant governor has raised so much money on his behalf. Holcomb is so popular right now. I mean, I just don't see it.
He's
I
really
love
popular.
Eric Holcomb. I just don't see
Mayor
it.
Pete v. Todd Young in a couple of years, perhaps.
I don't know. Maybe. I mean,
Do you think he has the stones to take on the Marines?
Todd Young is very popular. He's done very well for himself. So,
Except in Lake and Porter counties, where he can only get 497 signatures.
well, I don't know.
Eric Holcomb, doesn't he have like the highest? They just released a report
I've
early
unplugged.
summer where he was the highest. He had the highest amount of cash on hand of
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've unplugged Dakota's headphones for the 37th time, and I've finally decided it's not entirely my fault because there is literally a quarter-inch of extra cable down there. And maybe at some point we ought to invest in a longer cable because it happens every show, 2 to 3 times a show.
put it on the wish list.
Constantly happens.
I mean, a shorter cable.
Yeah, a longer cable because it's just a little. It's anytime there's any tension, it unplugs. Anyway, all right. We've had Betsy on the hot seat for a while. It's time we pick on our boy Chris.
Yellow.
Oh, baby.
Guffey, do I need to have you start stopping by the house before you go out in public again and approving your wardrobe choices?
All I'm going to say is I just wish to be referred to as Ben from here on out. Just for this episode.
So there was a poll,
Yes.
and it was who wore it better.
And I slaughtered.
And it was like 81-19. You did
Slaughtered.
very well. But if anybody watched the movie Pearl Harbor, and you remember Ben Affleck and Josh Hartnett they were sleeping in the back of the car when the bombing happened. They were the two pilots, and they ran out in their hula shirts and got in the planes. You decided you were going to dress like them last weekend, and then you went to the flag raising at Memorial Park, and the next thing I know, your picture's everywhere dressed like Hula Boy.
Yep, I'm
next to an older veteran who is in his full his full
just different
professional
generations, boys.
uniform and
Different generations.
Yeah, we were just talking about Mayor Pete, and Mayor Pete, when he's in the service, he's got these pictures of him looking presidential, official, amazing, incredible, at the top of the mountain, the view behind him, looking like he's given his marketing team something to work with.
Yeah,
Every
Mayor
one of
Pete.
your damn pictures in the military
Yep.
looks like something that they go, oh yeah, we apologize.
Yep.
Mayor
sure
Pete
does.
knew that he was going to be involved in politics.
I had
so he
no
made
clue.
sure that he got those photos.
I had no clue until last year that I wanted to be involved in local
But
politics.
speaking of being involved in local politics, since you started your campaign for city council, you have found yourself
County, city,
involved.
it is city.
I am in the city.
City.
Yep.
You're professionals. I'll just watch football.
You have found yourself involved
Colts 7,
in,
Bengals 3.
in a wide variety of different boards.
I have, yeah. So let's see. It first went off when some of the park board members had actually resigned. I got approached by some people to actually apply for the park board. At the time, I'm focused on the city council race, so I was like, I can't do that at the time. They're like, well, what about the monuments committee? I said, okay, I can make that work. So I joined the monuments committee out there under the non-negotiables. And then, let's see, recently, I think about a month and a half ago, I accepted a board position for the Newcastle Main Street group.
Very controversial.
But it is. But
You guys almost owned a theater there for a minute.
that's a lie. That's an absolute lie. Listen, the Main Street never put an offer in. I can tell you that right now.
I'm just,
But the mayor said
I don't care
that
what
it
he
was-
said.
the mayor said the city of Newcastle, along with Newcastle Main Street,
Exactly.
put
He-
an offer in, and then the city attorney said that it was not the city. He said it was Newcastle Main Street acting alone put the offer in.
Well,
on the
Listen,
Newcastle theater.
Chris,
So who's lying?
Jeremiah and I watched Star Wars in that theater. Trust me, you don't want that theater.
I worked in that theater.
And then there's something that's going on in this whole debacle, where everybody from Newcastle Main Street says, "I have no idea why the mayor would ever say that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Why?"
Well, I can tell you this.
this is starting to feel like a Glenn Beck shell game thing.
I have looked at the financials
you know what?
for the Main Street Board. We do not have the money to buy a Castle Theater in that plot.
And, Rex Peckinpah had his Cory Booker, his Cory Booker "This is Sparta" moment whenever he was at the city council meeting, and he told the mayor, he was like, "Why can't you just tell the truth?"
No,
And
that was not Cory Booker. What that was is Tom Cruise interviewing what's his name?
Jack Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson.
Oh.
I want the truth.
Some Sorkin moments.
You can't handle the truth.
Well, that was Copenhagen that said you can't handle the truth, I think.
But no, so yeah, and so it was in the 2 council meetings ago. I confronted the mayor about what was said, and the wagons were circled. And then last council, Rex confronted the mayor as well. So, and it didn't seem like they were circling the wagons around him. Whenever I guess
The
whenever,
tone changed from early August to late August.
yeah,
didn't it?
I guess when an outside force comes in, they circle the wagons, and then they can bicker among each other. But
All right. So we got a
So,
little off track.
hold
Back
on,
to
hold
you
on,
dressing
hold on.
like Ben Affleck.
yep.
For all my fans out there and my 4 followers on Twitter, we are not voting for Chris Guffey this year until he adds me on Facebook.
Well, I guess you and your 4 fans aren't going to vote for me.
You guys aren't Facebook friends.
No,
Why?
It's
'Cause he's
it's
a loser.
stupid long story, Betsy.
he won't add me.
He won't add me either.
Come on, God.
I like
That's
his.
so
I
silly.
like his post all the time.
Sure. So
So if you follow him,
No, I don't even follow him. I just search him on Facebook and like his post.
They've been in group chats together with each other for years, but they won't talk.
Chase puts
They won't
so
add
much
each other.
effort into not adding.
I want him to know I view his profile.
Surprise,
I don't.
surprise.
I'm not a friend.
surprise. I
So
added
this
his
was-
girlfriend as a friend on my
this is wild.
I'm a friend of
Yeah.
Chris Guffey, but it's not official yet.
This is some serious inside baseball that it's usually reserved
But
for the
it's
Patreon
okay,
members.
Betsy, because we have a side bet in our fantasy football league.
Right.
Whoever has the worst record has to add the other on Facebook. So Chris Guffey's going to have to add me on
All
Facebook.
I'm going to say is
soon.
I got an A in that draft. What'd you get?
I want in that
A
fantasy
minus.
league next year. I want in.
Deal.
There
There's
might
the
be
commissioner.
there might be another league available,
Oh, let me know.
possibly.
So sorry,
Yeah,
Chris,
quick
you were
card.
so rudely interrupted by Chase.
So yeah, so I got the Main Street, the board there, and then just in general, people have been reaching out, as well with the Monuments Committee. We're going to put up a Global War on Terrorism monument, and we're trying to get all veterans that have actually served in the war, which is September 11, 2001 till current. If you've served, let us know. Come up. We'll be at the cruise-in September 7th. We're going to set up a little table. Going to have a little display. Get your input. And then we also have a follow-up meeting September 8th at the Doughboy at 1 o'clock.
Where at the
At the Doughboy,
at the
not on Doughboy
not
Hill.
At, not at
Yeah,
the,
at the
not
Doughboy.
Not
Yeah.
at the flag.
Right by the Smith building. So,
Wait, the Doughboy was moved?
whoa. Yes, it was.
You've been gone a long time.
Mind
It's
blown.
been a
right?
few months.
So,
Where has this country gone?
So speaking of moving the Doughboy, that's where we actually raise the War Mother's flag.
So explain what that flag is and what it means.
Let me see if I remember correctly.
If you are a Patreon member and you have the show notes in front of you, there's a link that says, "What is the War Mother's flag?" And you can click on it and write it out in the comments so that we know.
It's true. Well, if I remember correctly, what it states is it in the blue is how many deployed during World War I, and the blue, yellow or gold is how many died, if I remember correctly. And it's just raised in honor of because the War Mothers did donate the Doughboy to that location, and so we still want to make that a monument and a place where people can gather and pay their respects, however they see is the best way to pay their respects.
How was the attendance at the deal last weekend?
Let me see. I'd say probably about 15 people, if I had to guess. Park board members, commissioners, me, then some local citizens like Norma Dishman and her husband, and some others. So,
All right.
Here we go. I got it right in front of me. And this was something interesting that I learned about the War Mother's flag that I didn't know until I looked up this website and stuck it in the show notes, was that, let's see.
Halftime, Colts 7, Bengals 3.
My
Go
phone
horse.
my phone has frozen and it's not letting me. Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay. So now it's not responding.
okay, while you're doing that, I want
Damn Apple phones.
real quick, I also want to speak on. So I went to the commissioners' meeting last night. First off, I want to let anybody know that thinking about running for political office, it's a lot more work than what you actually see. I mean, I see these people at meetings more than I do some of my own friends. And I'm just like,
Not
hey,
me, buddy. You
lot
see
of
me
work.
every day.
I do. I was like, hey, how y'all? But no. So I went to the commissioners meeting, and there was a proposal to change the Henry County Memorial Park to Veterans of Henry County Memorial Park. And I am proud to say that motion failed, and the name will continue.
Why are
to
you
be-
celebrating failure?
because it doesn't. Because that park is made for more than just
It's
the
a
veterans.
silly name.
Because
change.
it was a redundant idea.
Yeah.
Well intentioned, but a bad
so-
idea.
Exactly.
So here's
well intentioned, but still.
With the War Mother's flag, it was first flown above the U.S. Capitol underneath the American flag on November 11th, 1926, which is Armistice Day. And it is always flown at the 11 minutes. It's at 11:11 a.m. underneath of, and it's raised by the Vice President every year. So that was cool. But yeah, it's a flag that's got a white field with a red border. There are 2 stars, one blue and one golden, and it has the numbers of underneath the blue flag of how many service members died in World War One, and yep, and then which is 4,695,039.
All combatants.
Yes, all combatants,
all civilians.
And then a 11-inch gold star for the 60,672 who just says who gave their lives.
American casualties.
Yeah, American casualties.
I'll tell you what, the last couple of years have been very educational with regard to the park and the monuments and the changes and the upgrades and the improvements and the shifts and all of the stuff that's come from there. I think everybody's learned a lot and dug in and has learned. So it's been a very probably a good conversation.
Yeah, really. I don't think that there were this many. I know that a lot of people disagree with the Doughboy being moved, but if anything, even if you hate that it was moved, you can at least recognize that the attention that the park has gotten out of all this has been nothing but positive.
It's a great asset to the county. I mean, it's one of the best things about us, and it really sets us apart. And it's good that people are paying attention.
Inside of the park, you saw the official groundbreaking as well for the Henry County Expo Center, which is a very big engine coming for the county. New road going in. Golf course road's been extended. And
the last time that we talked about the Expo Center, they were holding a fundraiser to try to secure the funding to build the place.
Yeah, they've got enough. I think they've got enough to do the first phase, the first portion of the building. So they're going. They've got their.
That is true.
They've got their dirt work is underway now, and they've got Fredericks. So that's SC Case is building that, and I think Fredericks is Middletown is doing the actual.
Fredericks
building.
was the. Yeah, they're out of Marklettville.
Yeah.
And
Northwestern Henry County, one of the M communities.
They were also the ones that did the contracting and carpentry work for the office space at Borsed. So
that's underway and pretty exciting. We saw some local drone. There were drone footage shared by the Expo page on Facebook. Very cool. All right, that's the Memorial Park update. Let's talk about the little cherry on top of the episode tonight.
Hold on.
Chase, what are you doing, buddy? He's taking his bandana off. He's changing.
He's changing bandanas.
He's got it. It's upside down. It's upside down. It's a Wilson bandana, and it says God. Luck hashtag or number 12. Hashtag. But the L's been scratched, and it's now that's an F.
What is that? What is that word, Chase?
It's 825.
We're safe.
Earmuffs.
I think that's fuck luck or no fuck number 12.
So Chase, you were in the stadium last Saturday night.
My girlfriend got us some tickets because I'm a big Bears fan.
We can use her name. We can say Katie.
Katie got me some tickets. Awesome.
Dakota has left the room. He's
Thumbs
out.
up. So we're right on the Bears sideline, right by the goal line, and it's like the third.
Was Curtis Enos there?
Who?
Curtis Enos.
Who is that?
Running back for the Bears. First round draft.
Is he still in the league? No, he's way gone, right?
This is like 1997.
Right,
Bears.
I was like, what?
I was 2 years old, Jared. How would I know that?
Because you're a fan of the team, you poser.
I wasn't 85. Listen, I know 85, and then I know 2006 and above.
So
I
young.
hate you so much.
Sweet, so young.
So I'm
He's
on
so
the side.
punchable.
I'm right
Also
there.
true.
I'm literally right there. I'll be honest. I wasn't even watching the game. I was watching all the Bears starters on the sidelines. Some of them are huge. Some of them are small. And then it's like, I don't know. It might be halftime or like right before halftime, right after halftime. The Bears kicker hits a 58-yard field goal. Highlight of my season.
Because last week you were ready for them to sign the girl
Let me
that
tell
was
you.
kicking in Eagles camp.
I shit
Harley
myself.
Lloyd.
I shit myself. I was so excited. And then 5 minutes later, it seemed like, I get this notification on my phone. And it says, Colts quarterback Andrew Luck retires from Adam Schefter. And I look at it, and I'm like, there's no way this is real.
Right.
You're at a game. It's happening
I'm
in
at the
front of
game.
you.
I'm in Lucas Oil Stadium. And I'm like, there is no way this is real. And I do my research, and I'm like, holy shit, this is real.
Right.
And I'm looking around.
It's from the verified Twitter account, and it's not like one tweet. It's like 3 or 4 Schefter tweets.
And he doesn't get it wrong.
In a
Adam
row.
Schefter's never
He's
wrong.
perfect.
Yeah.
And I'm looking around at all the number 12 jerseys around me, and I'm like, they don't know yet.
Right.
And I'm like, oh no, should I tell them? but I don't, and I just see them one at a time look down at their phone, and they just look devastated. And some of them take their jerseys off. Like, I didn't know. I felt so bad. I don't even like the Colts, but I felt bad for them.
Well, you've never had a good quarterback to leave you. This is you don't know the pain.
Jay Cutler was decent.
Smoking
He
Jay.
had
Smoking Jay.
Smoking Jays, baby.
I love that meme so
That's
much.
been my fantasy name on a lot of my fantasy leagues.
So the news was broken to me. I was camping. Sarah and I were down in the Louisville area, Charlestown State Park, in our grand state park tour we've been on, and watching the IndyCar race outside by the fire. And I'm scrolling through Facebook during a yellow, and Betsy shares a screenshot of Adam Schefter. And I'm like, what the hell is this?
Right.
Betsy's lying to me.
I know. I
So then
thought it was a lie too.
She's like, I can't believe this. And I'm like, I scrolled to Adam Schefter's thing. I'm like, son of a bitch.
Right.
What?
That was in one of the articles that I read. It said that there were media members that were scrambling to try to see if his account on
Was
Twitter
hacked.
had been
Right.
hacked.
Yeah.
And they were like, and there was even rumors that his daughter was playing a prank on him by opening
Oh,
up
man,
his
what a
Twitter
prank.
account.
Seriously,
That
I
would've
did
been-
not think it was real at first because you just never see that happen. Like, it's only happened a few times.
So players don't retire in August.
When you're that good, you don't really see players retire early.
People also don't retire when they're 29 typically.
So you were at the
Just
game.
average.
I'm at the game.
I was at the other biggest event in Indianapolis, which was at Conner Prairie. Lord knows why this happens, but they have Symphonies on the Prairie, and it was a Fleetwood Mac cover band. I'm with the Ball City Alumni Association. We have a big get-together every year.
Aren't you fancy out there with the symphony?
Yeah, well, no, it was a cover band.
La-ti-da.
There were like 10,000 people there. I'm sitting at the table with my best friend, his girlfriend, who's amazing, a bunch of other friends from Ball State, parents, whatever. And I get a text from another mutual best friend and he sent me the screenshot of Schefter's tweet. And I was like, I just replied, no, period. No. And I was like, that's
Wrong.
fake. And I showed Sean and I was like, what? Like, what? No, this can't be real. And then I looked it up, and immediately as I was looking up, I got the push alert from the ESPN app, and I was just full meltdown mode. And the rest of the night, it was just
Ruined.
It was
over.
It was like-
literally ruined. I'm watching 10,000 people at Conner Prairie react in real time.
Yeah.
And you could see it. You could see it on their faces.
It was crazy.
Our friend's mom was watching us, and she could see that we were like clearly reacting emotionally. And she was like, "What's happening? What's happening? What's happening?" She could see it on our faces, and we were just like,
She's like, has the president been shot?
"Right?
No,
I
it's
mean,
worse.
right? I know, right?"
Luck retired.
So
It was like Andrew Luck personally went, "Happy birthday, Betsy. I'm leaving."
I'm so melancholy.
So it's
over it.
like, I don't know, like beginning of the fourth quarter, all right? And the Bears score a touchdown. We go up by like what it seems like 20 points. And at this point, like half the people in the stadium know and half the people don't. And they score the touchdown. The Bears score the touchdown. I'm like, man, this isn't even the worst loss of the night. And the guy next to me just looks at me like, I've never wanted to hug a person so much in my life. I felt so bad
he
for
was
him.
broken.
He was broken.
Yeah, he was a broken man.
Dakota, where were you when you found out Andrew Luck retired?
Where were you when the world stopped turning?
I don't
buddy?
know. I think
My
that
world stopped turning that night.
I think it was Jeremiah sent a link to an article in our messenger group.
Oh, yeah.
I think that there it is.
I think Betsy, or not Betsy, Christy Avery just finally joined. She's at the Weird Al
Hi, Christy.
deal with Andrew Bowman and a number of other friends of ours. She doesn't know, Chase, what you did. Christy,
Well,
come back and check later, and you'll
Christy,
love.
this
just
is
remember
why-
you used to like Chase.
This is why you suck.
Me.
Jeez, OP.
You know she's a major donor. It's her
That's all
birthday
right.
week.
Happy
She's a
birthday,
lovely
Christy.
lady.
I
Yeah.
wish her a happy birthday.
All right.
It's like that makes up for it.
Here's the thing. Luck retiring, fine, whatever. I get it. My view on Andrew Luck is that he's never really been a guy who had a true passion for the game. I don't think. I think his dad was an NFL quarterback. He was born into it. He had the physical talent to do the job. He went to college, and then he's like, "Oh shit, I'm so damn good at this. I'm going to be the number 1 draft pick in the league." And then he's in, and he didn't have the best protection out there. It didn't go really, really well physically. So he took a bit of a beating, but I don't think he was mentally where a lot of the top NFL quarterbacks are. The guys that just absolutely, no matter what, I want to do this. I have to do this. I was born to do this. I want to be a quarterback. I want to play. I want to get on the field no matter what. And they're going to bust their ass to play every snap and every game. And that's my job. And I get to do it. That's the way I look at it.
This is why you don't draft a quarterback from Stanford. He's too smart.
Like John Elway never should have been drafted.
Exactly.
No, but I think Luck's a little bit different in that I think he did have that drive. And what I saw on Saturday night really broke my heart because he looked broken and he looked depressed. And a small part of me wonders, is he overwhelmed? Is he depressed? Is he so down because of all these damn injuries that he's just like, I'm done?
I think
and I have other things to live for, like my wife and my
I don't think his
baby.
body is truly done. I think
either.
he's done
and I think
mentally.
He might come back.
Well, no, I mean, even last year, he had a really good season once he came back. His body's
I'm
still
with you.
there.
I'm thinking he's going to come back out of retirement.
I'm going to hold on to a tiny bit of hope.
He ain't going to play for Indiana, though.
I don't believe that.
The Colts have his rights for 3 years. So if he wants to play, he's got to come here.
If he comes back, he's coming back.
Especially with the gift they gave him walking away.
But it would be funny if he goes to Denver.
No, so here's what's
they're sad too.
Apparently, the Colts are signing Brock Osweiler.
Yeah, no, not yet.
Who shared the starting role with Peyton Manning in the last Super Bowl?
Joe Flacco.
Joe is a Bronco now.
He is.
I think it's going to happen. He's going to retire for 2 years. Brady's going to retire. He's going to come out of retirement.
No.
And he's going to go walk straight to New England.
No.
Because they know where their bread and butter is.
I had a close call.
You're saying horrible things right now.
So, like,
you have to take it back.
Can you imagine how painful that would be for Colts fans?
I could not bear it. I could not bear it.
And then Tom says, "Hey, yeah, it's okay, buddy. We're number 12."
Because Belichick's not going to last forever. He's like, as soon as Tom's gone, he's gone. That's done deal.
No, I don't know. I think Bill's going to last longer than Tom Brady.
I don't think so.
So I listened to a lot of sports podcasts, and all I heard from Colin Cowherd like a month and a half ago.
Oh man, he's sad too.
Listen,
he's heartbroken.
I either hate Colin Cowherd or I completely agree with him.
Former ESPN guy, now he's on Fox. He's a Fox dude.
And he loves Andrew Luck more than anyone.
Most of the time, I hate him. But like for the last month and a half, all I've heard is, "Oh, listen, the Colts are going to have this 100-year dynasty with Andrew Luck as quarterback and all this," and now he's retired. And man, listen, this happened Saturday night. I had a fantasy draft Friday night. I was this close to drafting him. I was like, Colin's probably right. He's going to come back. He's going to do awesome.
He was comeback player of the year last year. He won a playoff game.
Great season.
He did so well. He had
39
such a great
touchdowns.
season. But man, I just had this funny feeling. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to draft him. I forget who I went with. I think I went with Carson Wentz, who's still an injury risk.
O.J. Simpson was on Twitter.
Yeah.
And he said he was upset because he had picked Andrew Luck for his. He got on Twitter with one of his videos like, do you follow O.J. Simpson?
I do not follow.
No.
I saw the headline.
It's so strange.
I don't want anything to do with O.J. Simpson.
I'm going to be honest. I really haven't kept up with O.J. since the Naked Gun movie. So
I
do have a signed rookie card of O.J.
I
Simpson.
shouldn't follow
Cool.
O.J. Simpson. He's one of my favorite people I follow
Because
he's so
weird.
funny.
He's always on Twitter, and it's just like he doesn't know why it's weird for everyone else that he's on Twitter. He's got zero self-awareness, and he's always making these videos. And he's
listen,
like, he opens
weird.
every one of them, and he goes, "Hello, Twitter world."
No, hold on. So every YouTube video or
is he just
or
a
Twitter,
giant Bills homer?
Every video he makes for Twitter, he's like, "Hello, Twitter world. This is yours truly." He always says yours
That is
truly.
creepy as hell. That is so weird. That is legitimately weird.
Yeah, it's so strange. And he's like,
he killed people.
Yeah. There's
Hey, the glove didn't fit, Betsy. The glove didn't
give
fit.
Me a break.
all of the replies.
fit.
Double
Hey, Betsy,
murder.
you want to feel old? He hasn't killed people in Chase and Dakota's lifetime.
Oh my God, I'm so old.
Hey, I did. We watched the documentary.
That was like 1994, wasn't
Bronco,
Yeah, I was in fourth grade.
it? The Bronco chase was like 94.
I thought the Bronco chase was 96.
It was June
I think
of
it was 95.
Okay, hang on.
June
I
of
think it
'94. I was.
I think
it
it
was
was
around
95 because I think it was like literally a couple months before I was
I
born.
think it was, yeah.
Anyway, OJ sucks, and I'm just really sad about Andrew Luck. Like I'm
October
happy for him.
2nd, 1995. Not in Dakota's lifetime. Yes, in Chase's lifetime.
Chase, where are we going with this?
December 2nd, 95.
Oh, not yours either. You guys are only a month apart.
I was
It was
September,
October
I was
2nd.
September 2nd.
It was in Chase's lifetime, not in Dakota's lifetime.
Loser! I remember it.
Yes.
Chase was a month
was 1
old.
month
From
old
the
at
cradle,
the time.
yeah, you remember.
Yeah, his Twitter's hilarious because some of the replies on his tweets are so great. Like I saw one today where he made a video where he's like, "Hello, Twitter world. This is yours truly. Anyone else notice in the Democrat debate that Yang and Gabbard are the only ones following the
You
rules?"
know what?
And then he signs off. So it's like a 10-second video, and then one person replies and says, "Hey, my wife and I are having trouble. Any marital advice?"
He might be a terrible person. When I say he is a terrible person. But he seems so happy. He seems like the happiest
so
guy
weird to
ever.
Can we please get back to the NFL?
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
For the
I don't
love
want to
of
talk
God.
about OJ anymore.
I'm so
all right. Enough of
horrifyingly
OJ.
frustrated.
Betsy, if you were in the stands and you found out Andrew Luck retired, would you boo him?
Never in a million years. I will say this though, I won't defend the booing, but I think if you're watching that game and you're excited about the season because you know the game is, or you know the team is loaded, you know Luck just has to come back. You're watching him giggle with Jacoby Brissett on the sideline, and then you get that push alert from ESPN.
Like, what the hell?
I think you probably have, like I did at Connor Prairie. You're spiraling, and so I won't defend the booing. It never should have happened. It was an embarrassment to the city. At the same time, it was weird. It was weird. It broke
I
that
completely
way.
disagree. I would completely boo his ass.
So
our
did you-
friend,
but you
our
didn't
friend
boo him,
Rob
did you?
Kendall.
I
You were
honestly,
there.
You were there. You
I
didn't
was
boo
there.
him.
And you
I was
didn't.
on the Bears sidelines though, and I honestly once
come on.
once I got the notification, I really didn't think he was even at the game
Oh, you couldn't
because
see him?
I couldn't see him.
Okay.
You're on the other side.
Yeah.
Our friend Rob Kendall was on his show on Sunday, and he did 2 hours, and he said, absolutely, you can boo, because they tax the hell out of you for the stadium. You
So-
say what you want. You here for that. You're a taxpayer. You're invested in this thing. You do what you want.
For one thing, you're at a preseason game.
Andrew
so
Luck gave you his heart and soul. I don't know. I mean,
you have to
I think
be
it was just the emotion.
Yeah.
right.
in the
I mean,
stadium.
I get it. I didn't
I
want
don't-
to boo.
One
but-
person starts booing.
Right.
I don't blame anyone who boos because you're at a preseason game, so that means you're a pretty big fan anyways.
Or you got free tickets.
Or you got free tickets.
Free tickets.
For the most part, most of those people paid for their tickets, and they're there at the end of the game after the Chicago Bears beat your ass.
It's preseason, bro.
You stay
Nobody
there.
cares. Yeah.
You stay
They
there.
didn't even
through
start
that
the
ass
starters in that
whooping,
game.
and it's just raw emotion.
Yeah,
So-
that's what I
It
think
was raw
is.
emotion. It was absolutely surreal for that to break the way it did with him standing right there. That is, I mean, this is such a bizarre
Yeah.
situation.
A very
Totally
emotional.
You
And
literally
any fan
go-
base in the country would have done that. They're acting like we're jerks, and those people who booed were jerks. But it's not representative of the entire fan base.
It's an empty stadium.
Any
It only took a
quarterback in
couple
the
hundred
country
people
would have
to
been
boo.
booed if it happened that
You
way.
literally go, hey, we're a team with a very young, really good defense and a top 5, top 3 quarterback. We're gonna have a dynasty for years.
Right.
We have a good chance of winning the Super Bowl to where he retires out of nowhere. When you think he might be back by game 1, at the most he might miss 5-6 games. He's going to be back by the half the season 2. He's retired. Our season's over. Like
Yeah.
if you're that invested, if you're at that game, you're staying that long, you're probably pretty invested. You're going to be upset in the moment.
And you're
Like,
watching him on the sideline look so casual. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just bizarre. They shouldn't have booed, but it was utterly
I
bizarre.
don't blame him for booing. At the same time, if they were at his press conference the next day, if it wouldn't have leaked
Right.
during that moment, they wouldn't have booed him at his press conference.
Oh, no, because the public wouldn't have
think
been
so.
there.
No.
But here's the deal. I don't think this is the biggest thing that's going to happen in his life.
Right.
I don't think he's Brett Favre. I don't think he's Steve McNair, the guys that were just born to be NFL quarterbacks. I mean, Steve McNair, when he played for the Titans, I hated his ass, right? We used to call
Air McNair.
we used to call him Lazarus, right? Because he would be hurt all week, not practice, have 6 different injuries, come back, and then light the Colts up for 3 touchdowns and no picks, and then it'd be a dogfight.
Right.
That's the Steve McNair I remember. I remember Brett Favre never missing a game, but being always, is he going to start? Is this hurt? What's going on? What's wrong here? Aaron Rodgers, the same thing. They just these guys that had horrible injuries. Tom Brady missed an entire season. Yeah. Drew Brees had a torn labrum in his shoulder, and they didn't know what the hell was going to happen with him. Peyton Manning missed a season. All of these guys, I know we're saying that Andrews had it rough, and he has, but at the same time, it's a tough spot. It's a tough gig.
It's a brutal game.
But most of these absolute stud quarterbacks have had horrible injuries and have missed a year.
I don't think
Eli's the one guy that hasn't missed.
I don't
he's the
think
one guy.
anyone blames him for retiring. It's when he did it.
Yeah,
you don't
if he
retire literally a week or a week and a half before the season
If he
starts.
retired in March, everybody says thank you. Okay, great. But that was Thursday. The last preseason game is this week. Now, he hasn't done jack squat all through preseason, so thankfully Jacoby Brissett has taken
reps.
all the snaps,
Yeah.
and he's basically been the starting quarterback throughout the entire preseason. So the Colts aren't really behind in that front. The fans psychologically are going, all right, I feel like I've been lied to.
Well, and you see him recover last year. You see him win comeback player of the year, throw 39 touchdowns, take us to the playoffs after a 1-5 start.
He told Peter King, I'm ready to play right now if I had to. If I had to go, I could.
Well,
It's the mental I just don't want to. And that's the difference of, okay, you are quitting, right? Yeah, you're retiring. Yeah, you don't want to play football anymore, but you're quitting on this team. You
I think
could
he's
do
depressed.
this.
I think he's depressed.
I forget where I saw it, but I'm pretty sure I even saw him say, I've handled worse physical pain.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the most physical
He's just worn
pain
down because he
dealt
feels
with.
like he's done this
He's
for
worn
4 years.
down, and I get it as a player. You don't want to be, when you're a professional, you don't want to be in anything you can't be in 100%.
Right.
But 70, 80%, Andrew Luck is better than 100% Jacoby Brissett.
Again, this is wishful thinking. This is very wishful thinking from someone who's absolutely heartbroken over this. And I'm not mad at Andrew. I love Andrew. I want the best for Andrew. He's hungry and he's competitive. I think he goes and gets healed up. He has his baby. He lives the good life for a year or two. Never say never. I wonder if he comes back, especially with the parting gift Irsay gave him. I mean, I'm probably wrong. He goes and starts his architecture firm at Children's Hospital. He saves the world. He runs for president, whatever. Like, God bless him. I really want the best for him, but he's also a competitor. I think if he gets healthy and he gets hungry again and he's young and he wants it.
He was pretty successful. He still did win more playoff games than the Dallas Cowboys have in Dakota.
No doubt. Well, and Jerry Jones wants him to run for president. I'm all behind Andrew
He
Luck
never
for
won a
president, by
Super
the
Bowl,
way.
though.
Well, it's going to be a while before he can run for president.
Well, right.
A little too young.
Never
6
won a
years,
Super Bowl chair.
5 years. It's such a, every day I wake up and I'm like, oh, it's such a good day. I'm so happy. And then I remember he retired and I feel utterly miserable for a little bit.
RG3
That's
still
so
in the league.
pathetic. That is such a pathetic
Listen,
reaction to
The top five guys in the 2012 draft are now officially all out. They're not. None of them have consequential jobs. In the
If
NFL.
Mitch Trubisky retired last week when Andrew Luck did,
you'd be
I would be
throwing bottles on the field.
I would be devastated.
Right.
And he's not even near the same level as Andrew Luck.
Right.
I think he might be a decent quarterback, but he's not anywhere near the
Bengals
the
have missed
level
another field goal in the preseason. 7-3, 9:59.
For instance, like I'm at the game and 80% of the jerseys at the game of Colts fans are Andrew Luck jerseys.
That's because that was the one safe one, because we all had to get rid of our Peyton. We had to
Right.
get rid of our McAfee. We had to get rid of our Jeff Saturdays. We were down to Hilton and Luck.
So,
and that
yes,
was all that was
Darius
left.
Leonard, maybe.
You see a lot of, 80% are Andrew Luck jerseys. You have some leftover Peyton Manning jerseys. You have multiple T.Y. Hilton jerseys, and I saw one Jeff Saturday jersey.
I've got in my closet. I've got a
I don't
Saturday and a
blame-
Luck, or a Saturday and a McAfee.
I don't blame anyone for booing Andrew Luck because they loved him. They were devastated.
It was the way the news broke. It was truly horrible. And Luck couldn't control that either, but
It's so surreal to happen.
it is
in a
absolutely
game.
surreal. Well, I will
everybody's
never
looking at 'em.
forget. I will never forget that night for the rest of my life. I will never. I'm not going to compare it to national tragedies, but I will never forget that night.
Yeah, like
It was bad.
it was so awkward.
It's a local
I will not
tragedy.
go on record with that.
It's
But
a local tragedy.
it's a local.
I will never
state tragedy.
forget the night Andrew Luck retired because I was in the stadium.
Yeah,
Like it was awkward.
Connor Prairie was pretty weird too.
I bet
It was pretty freaking weird.
All right, we need to move into final thoughts.
Oh,
That's
Lord.
that's the end of the NFL chat, unless somebody wants to bring it up in final thoughts. Producer Chris, what do you got for us tonight?
Okay, so I have an event that we would like to, I think all of us would like to share this a little bit. It's called Democracy at the Plaza, Youth Explosion.
What plaza?
The 1400 Plaza.
The parking lot downtown?
It is a plaza. Plaza. Anyways, it's going to be Saturday, September 21st, 2019, 5:30 to 8:30. They're going to have some activities. Looks like a parade with patriotic costumes. We're going to have Democracy's Got Talent. It's pretty much just so we can get the youth involved. That way we can teach them what they need to do here. It's actually being thrown, if I remember correctly, by the Democrat Party.
Yeah, by the Democrats. Yeah, but party affiliation does not matter. And,
so I will probably stop in and just swing by
former
and
guest
shake.
of the show, Pat. She's the one putting it on,
Yep.
organizing it. I guess. Yeah.
Pat Kronk?
Yeah.
There's a $50 cash prize for the best dressed costume. I've heard.
I'd enter Chase just the way he is right now.
I've heard rumors that there might be kids dressed as the Boss Hogs.
What? How would one dress to look like that?
Well, look, Dakota's got a very stylish look. So what you do is you get somewhat tight pants. You get a button-up shirt, kind of like the Ben Affleck shirt, and you wear wooden grained glasses.
I don't own a single pair of wood grain glasses.
Yes, you do.
You're
Don't lie.
describing the outfit that you wore in the pictures
You-
at Memorial Park.
You have to drink strictly IPAs.
Strictly IPAs. You have to
Not
like
true. I'm drinking a White
If it's the
Claw.
winter time, I think you need to wear a flannel shirt.
and flannel shirts.
Yeah,
yes.
I do like flannel
And then
shirts,
Jeremiah here. All you got to do is just like the look right now is
classic dad look.
I've got
That's
Jack
what-
Hanna
no.
going on
Hold
right
on,
now.
hold on. A typical Australian zookeeper.
Yeah, I'm full
Irwin.
Jack
You
Hanna.
do look like Steve Irwin.
Jack
Yeah.
Hanna.
Yeah,
Steve Irwin.
I don't have that one accessory that Steve has.
Can you
Columbia
say
shirt.
The
Crocky?
stingray.
A stingray.
Yeah, the stingray through the heart.
Yeah.
Back before
That
he
was
got
the worst night of my
back
my
before he got
childhood.
married. Before he got married, you would wear Crocs.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I can literally, the night Steve Irwin died, I can remember my mom coming up to my room and it was like 2 or 3 in the morning. And she was like, Chase, I have something to tell you.
Are you serious? Your mom woke you up at 3 a.m.
I was already up. I was watching Boy Meets World.
How old were you?
just smacking on Topanga.
Hold on.
If that tells you anything, it wasn't 3 in the morning. It was probably 1 a.m. Saturday, Sunday morning. Because it always showed at 1 a.m. Sunday morning. And I was watching Boy Meets World, and my mom came up, and she's like, so listen, Chase, I've got something bad to tell you. Steve Irwin died. And I was like, you're lying.
Chase
I was
is,
devastated.
This is like Andrew Luck 1.0.
Yeah, it was
This is
like,
the original Andrew Luck.
this is
Chase
the
was
original.
11.
Yeah, I was. I don't even know. I was
You were
probably
11.
9.
You were 11.
I was.
He
11.
died in 2006.
Okay, I was 11.
I don't want to sound like Joe Biden and plagiarize myself, but I'm 95% sure this was like the very first thing I fact checked on the internet. And it may have been Wikipedia at the time. I don't remember that to be absolutely certain, but I'm 80% certain I checked Wikipedia and I'm like, yep, he's dead on there.
Oh man.
That it was a Saturday or Sunday morning
So-
when the news broke. It was
You know in the aquariums where you can pet the
yeah.
stingrays?
You won't do it now.
I don't fuck with those.
So obviously that's going to be a big issue. I think all the kids should, if you got kids, take them to it, let them go. I know the Libertarians, at least I will be there. I'm sure some Republicans, Betsy.
When is it again?
September 21st, I believe. It's a Saturday.
It's a donkey event.
It is, but still.
They all vote.
Well,
So far, there's no donkeys in that race.
so yeah,
Sure.
we're going to do that, and then I don't really have anything else, man.
All right, that's all good. Chase, my man, you're not going to be here next week. You're going to skip out. You've strung together one in a row.
The Bears Packers game.
We'll be watching on the on this. Oh, you'll probably be on our screen over your shoulder next week.
Possibly.
We'll be looking. How good are your seats next week?
Pretty good. Pretty good. I mean, we're not the bottom level. We're middle, but we're in the middle. So we'll have a good view.
If
There's really not a bad seat.
and you're going to
Soldier
Lambeau,
Field.
Soldier Field.
Did he just say we're not in the middle, but we're in the middle?
We're not in the bottom level, but we're in the middle.
They're in the middle ring.
We're in the middle row.
How many
and we're in the
terrace
middle.
levels are there at the
3
at the spaceship? That's it.
There's 3.
All right. There's like 9 at Lucas Oil.
Yeah,
There's a ton of them.
I hate Lucas Oil Stadium.
It's literally the best stadium in the country.
No, it's not.
It's
Soldier Field.
year after year after
there
year.
are
after year.
really shitty seats in Lucas Oil. There's not a bad seat in Soldier Field, and Soldier Field is a real stadium. It's outside. Lucas Oil has that little rooftop they cover up when the players are pansies.
So are you and Guffey going to go to the Redskins Bears game together?
I can't now. I can't take the time off. It's a Monday night game. Yeah.
Man, you really screwed that up.
I thought you had tickets with Katie.
No, I was going to, and then things happened. I never bought the tickets, but I was going to.
I am looking very strongly at purchasing 2 tickets, one to either the San Francisco 49ers or another team, and I can get front row in the end zone for $140 a piece.
You going to go to DC, or are you going to go to the up? You're going to be a road fan?
No, I'm going to go to DC.
All right, is this an update? Or are you going to bring your special friend now? Is she going to go?
No, I think that's going to be
how'd
Trent.
that date go?
Went really, really well. So we had date 3 on...
What's the third date mean to you, Chase?
No, nothing like that at all. Nothing. No, it was really good. She made
Poor Chris. You just ruined
It's all off now.
this beautiful blossoming relationship that was being held together as it took roots in the palm of the potter's hands, and Chase just came through and threw Roundup all over
I think
it.
it's after the third date.
So, but she made chicken cordon bleu and cooked green beans, which was good. And then we also
Adequate. They were adequate green beans.
No, it was all good, really.
Were they the best you ever had?
I can't say that they were the best I've ever had, but I haven't had chicken cordon bleu a lot though, so it's.
Betsy,
it was really good.
I'm
All right.
Chris's only real friend here because I'm not making any of these comments.
I didn't say anything.
All right.
I may have set up a comment, but I didn't say anything.
Final thoughts. Last time I was here, Game of Thrones was still going on.
Yes, it was.
Oh man,
Chris and I watched it. We
another
talked,
tragedy.
it was all right.
Don't spoil anything. I haven't started the program.
We talked
yet.
about
don't
it
worry
a lot on our way to camp with Jeremiah. Dakota, have you seen the final season? I know you watch it after it all happens. What did you think about it?
Of the final season?
Yeah.
I think after watching season 8, and I had a little bit of a feeling with season 7 that it felt rushed as well. But season 8 was far more rushed than what season 7 was, and I'm disappointed in the direction it took after really season 5.
So no, I think season 6 is one of the best.
Season
seasons.
6 was pretty good, but the character building in the first 5 seasons was far greater than what it was in season. If you like the suspense and the suspense scenes, the action scenes, then you're gonna love season 6. But if you like the deep developments, then those aren't your seasons.
Going into it, I watched season 7, hated it, wasn't a big fan. Season 8 comes around. There's enough time in between seasons where I'm like, there's so many theories going out there. I have enough time to think, and I'm like, you know what, this season's gonna be pretty rushed. Don't expect much from it. With the ending, I was happy with the ending. I was like, you know what? This is how it was probably going to go the whole time. I'm okay with it. Wasn't rushed. I was okay. The only episode I was pissed over was the battle at Winterfell. And there were so many things that they didn't give us that I wanted.
Can't. I just literally can't even anymore. I've got to stop. We've got to stop.
Nerd.
Betsy.
All right,
But I thought it was okay.
Please,
I'm gonna try
please save us from nerd talk and talk about something interesting.
I think a lot of people hated it.
We're making Jeremiah sit through what we have to sit through when he talks about IndyCar.
Oh my god!
A lot of people hated the last season, but I think if they go back and watch it 2 years from now, they're going to say
we moved on.
They're going to say, you know what, it wasn't as bad as what I thought.
No. It wasn't the plot points. It was how we got there that was horrible.
Yes.
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
We need to move on because it's just too painful.
We'll have another whole episode about this.
Yeah, we can debrief Thrones, and You do have some points.
I'm
but
okay with it. I'm
It
okay
hurts
with
my
it.
heart. Okay.
It hurts so much.
I'm going to try to get through this fast.
Colts 7, Bengals 3, 7:24 to play.
High scoring game we got here. So, final thoughts. If you are interested in my campaign, you want to learn more, give me money, anything at all, please slide into my DMs or email me. I'm all over the internet, on Facebook. I have an Instagram now. My email is betsymills@gmail.com. Second, I want to note that the America's Future Foundation, which I talked to you guys about last time I was on. Yeah. Last time I was on, we are actually hosting a screening of the documentary of the late Eva Moses Core. Last time I was here, I was like, I'm so excited to meet her. We're going to have this
She's
event.
so powerful.
Then she died. And then I was like, I'm so excited to meet Richard Lugar. And then he died. So I'm not going to talk about who I'm excited to meet anymore. Anyway, October 20th, it's 5:30 p.m.
Betsy is so excited to meet Chase Peyton.
Oh, no. He brought me birthday cake. Anyway, October 20th, we're going to have a screening of her documentary at the Indiana Historical Society. I will share deets with you, but that should be really good. Her story is so powerful. Third, I want to talk about football for a moment. Not American football, but other football. International football.
Does
And
that even exist?
It does. And if you'll notice my
It's
wardrobe.
on the Ocho, I
Is
think,
this-
right?
Hey, listen. I will say, like, the U.S. men's soccer sucks. But U.S. women's soccer is pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. And that's, if you notice, maybe this is the first wardrobe change in the history of Boss Hog. I just threw on my 4 stars on my shirt, the women's national team jersey. So we have these great American heroes, and they won a World Cup for us this summer. Boys, I love you. You're perfect, but you actually did not cover this story, I think, as much as it deserved.
Boys, you suck. And
I just
wish,
know you suck.
She's
I
talking about
wish
us,
the women
not-
could play in your place because they're a
No,
lot better.
Chase, she's not talking about boys soccer. She's talking about us.
I was just saying.
Us as
I was just saying,
underserving.
I think this
Boys
was
soccer sucks.
Chase, I just want
Is
to be
Brandy
clear.
Chastain still playing?
No. Anyway, these
Hope
girls.
Solo?
they
We can all agree Brandy
they,
was hot, right?
They won a World Cup for us. Let me.
Mia Hamm.
You're killing me, dude. You're crushing me.
Let Betsy speak.
Yeah, you're oppressing me right now, and you're triggering me. Anyway, I'm a snowflake. Anyway, so they won this World Cup this
Jenny
summer.
Finch?
It was a magical month where they just rolled over everybody. They made America look amazing. It was unbelievable. If you're heartbroken over Andrew Luck, they played tonight. They won 4-0. No one's retiring quite yet, and they won't retire abruptly. Those girls are amazing. I'm so proud to wear this jersey. Women's soccer is actually really, really strong right now, and I'm very, very proud of it.
Did Muhammad Ali's daughter play?
She's a boxer.
Layla? Did Layla
She's
play?
a boxer.
Oh,
Are you concussed too, man?
I could be.
Yeah, you might be.
He's in a constant state.
All right.
Yeah.
One last point. I just want to say, for the record, thank you to Andrew Luck for giving us incredible football. I will never forget his rookie year being in Baltimore for that playoff game, the wild card game. I thought I was going to get killed wearing blue and white. I remember getting off the tram at the stadium, and a police officer literally grabbed me.
That was after we beat the Chiefs at home, and I think Bruce Arians didn't get to. He had a
Bruce
medical
Arians
condition
was sick that day. Yeah,
Yeah, he did not
and
coach.
Pagano's, got cancer.
Yeah.
But a police officer stopped me as I'm getting off the tram, and he said, "Miss, you're going to have a long day." And I did. People yelled mean things at us, and they yelled very mean things at Andrew Luck, and we got crushed. I will never forget the 2014 game against Kansas City at Lucas Oil.
I was in the stadium.
They rallied from 4 touchdowns down. I got to high five Reggie Wayne's parents in the third row. It was incredible. That game, I will never forget. I will never forget 2015, Cincinnati, the playoffs, where Andrew Luck was getting tackled, I think, on the 40 or 50-yard line. And he's getting tackled around the feet, and he throws this perfect ball into the end zone. I was in the corner end zone. I watched it happen in front of me. I go to a lot of Colts games. It was incredible. And I will never forget last year's 1-5 start. And they never gave up, and they kept fighting. And they went to the playoffs. They got they got killed in
But they won a road playoff game
They
in
did.
Tennessee.
And,
they beat Tennessee, and then they beat Houston in
Right.
Houston.
And so, I'm despondent over Andrew Luck, and which is so silly to be so upset about a stupid game, but here we are. I have loved him passionately and desperately.
Listen.
I'm happy for him. No. And I hope he comes back eventually.
When
I'm
the
gonna hold out
when
hope.
the double doink happened last year, I sat in silence for like 50 minutes.
I do get it. I get it. I want the best for him.
So-
I'm happy
so
for
bad
him.
for Chase.
R.I.P. 2019, 2020
Cody Park, you'll break your heart, man.
Colts season because it's over. You
No.
guys are gonna suck.
We're gonna be a very solid.
I
8-8.
think you guys
Suck
might,
for
might
luck.
make the
Suck
playoffs
for
because
luck.
your division sucks, and then you'll get smacked
The
by
Texans
either the
aren't bad.
Patriots or the Chiefs.
I don't know. We're going to playoffs. But
the
let's see
Steelers.
what Jacoby can do.
Or the
No, the
Ravens.
Steelers suck.
Are the Ravens going to be any good this year?
Ravens are
With
going to
everybody
suck.
figuring out their
Lamar
offense?
Jackson, way overrated.
Is it really going to be Cleveland?
Jacoby.
Cleveland, I will be very surprised if Cleveland sucks because they have so many good players.
Yeah.
It's just hard
So
to
many years
believe.
being terrible. It has to.
It's hard to believe.
I
Turn around
think this
eventually.
is their year. I don't think they're going to win the Super Bowl, but I think they're going to go far.
Well, Jeremiah, Cleveland's got the man that Sarah's going to leave you for, Baker.
Baker Mayfield.
Have you seen
she's-
his underwear ads?
I saw his underwear ads. I saw him.
It makes me feel a certain way, baby.
I saw him. I saw him reading the headlines, going on the Instagram today or yesterday, saying, "I'm going to be making these headlines." He's got a little swagger. It's just
I feel dangerous. I woke up feeling dangerous today, baby.
the last time Baker Mayfield's team, the Browns rather, won a playoff game. I don't know that I was around. It was the 80s. The last time they made the playoffs, Harry Holcomb was their quarterback. I mean, it's been like 2002. It's been Kelly Holcomb.
I think
Yes, deep dive.
Yes,
prediction:
Kelly Holcomb.
Browns win the division.
I don't think that's impossible. I think that
think
could
it's
very well
there.
happen.
I think it's there.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
No Super Bowl this year, but I think they win the division.
Dakota.
All right, my final thoughts. Betsy, the death of Daenerys Targaryen. Let's talk about it.
Oh shit!
What do you want to know specifically?
How'd that make you feel?
Yeah.
You
Do
know,
you think that it was a
yelled
good
like- I
ending
was-
to her
Colts
storyline?
10, Bengals
I
3.
can see in his writing how we might get to that point, but everything being so rushed, this horrible,
Yeah,
stupid
I agree.
I
timeline
agree
by the
with that.
showrunner.
I think that
it just
her
felt
ending-
so stupid.
Her ending was appropriate.
Yeah.
The way that John took her out, and they
Right.
had the little love triangle that was incesty and weird, but
Absolutely not. Arya
typical.
should have.
No,
I
no,
but
I didn't want Arya to do it.
I didn't want Arya to do it either. I wanted John to do it,
I wanted John to do it. Yep.
but I don't like how John's storyline ended.
I don't
either.
mind. I don't
Yeah.
mind.
But
it.
he got to go back to Ghost.
Bran the
Yeah.
Broken. I don't know about all that, but I didn't mind John's story
We are-
because, like, that's the happiest ending John could have.
Well, the
'Cause,
whole
like,
time
that's
I
where
was
he wants to be.
I was rooting for Jon Snow to sit the Iron Throne.
Well, everyone wanted that, but deep down, like,
It was
if you're a
never gonna
fan,
happen.
if you're a
Yeah.
fan, you
Yeah.
know Jon
We should
Snow
have known
wouldn't
that,
want to
but-
be.
You do,
wouldn't
but
wanna be
you
king.
still want it.
Right. He
Are
deserved
there,
it.
are there
but-
still
So-
like dragons and fairies in this thing?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
he-
really.
No, I
he
can't
melts.
do it.
I
He
didn't
melts
want-
the throne,
Listen,
man.
Jerry, my mother is a very rational person. Like, her favorite stuff is political and like murder mysteries. And I will
Yeah.
tell you, and for years I was like, Mom, you just got to watch this with me. I promise. It's actually political, but there may be dragons. But just hang with me.
Tyrion was my favorite.
She watched me. She watched it. She loved Tyrion and Arya. We have like a shrine to Arya still in our house. And anyway, my mom, who's never watched anything sci-fi or fantasy in her life, crazy about Game of Thrones. I promise
Yeah.
you, it is
So-
hooking. It is amazing.
I almost wanted
I think
Arya
it
to
was
sit
around-
the Iron Throne.
Oh, that'd have been pretty cool.
That would have been
been
cool.
sweet.
I think around the season where she's in, what was the city with the pyramid? Was that Marine or?
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that's when I was like, you know what? I hope this bitch dies.
What for?
I knew she was gonna go nuts. I was like, I hope this bitch dies. I'm over her. She's not that great of a ruler.
Nah, whenever she was freeing all the slaves and stuff, I was rooting for her. And
I
then-
think-
and then all of a sudden she gets
Yeah,
kind of
after
like
that-
she progressively gets crazy, and that's why the storyline was so rushed. Is
yeah.
because it was
She
like
goes from zero to crazy.
So
overnight. It's-
what?
she
Pissed,
goes from freeing slaves to killing all the innocent people
Right.
inside of a
what
giant
pissed
city.
me off
and
the most
Jeremiah
about the
Adams.
final season? What pissed me off the most about the final season is they build up this White Walker battle through the whole series.
right.
And
yeah.
all I'm thinking is, man,
then-
it's going to be awesome. There's going to be so many White Walker one-on-ones with the main characters.
Right.
Some are going to die. And none of that happens.
no.
All right.
All right. That's the only episode I was really disappointed
It has been
in.
really fun to watch each of you zone out in different places. You zoned out during football. You zoned out during Game of Thrones.
I'm working very hard to promote what's coming.
I'm
next.
here for all of it.
All right, next week's show, Matt Wharton, DJ Matty P, I think is what he calls himself, but Matt Wharton, the highly inappropriate podcast, will be on next week. Politically incorrect
Boobies.
and doesn't care. Yes,
Cool.
he's so he and he's the DJ to the stars. He did my little sister's wedding, which was a cool thing. I think he lives down in Shelby County. I want to say, could be wrong, but he'll be coming up. Final thought: we talked about Andrew Luck and how he just doesn't have a heart for it. I just wish somebody like Austin Collie was born into
Right.
Andrew Luck's body. Because that dude would play for 25 years. You watched him work his ass off to get back on the field, just to get out for one play and you get smoke going over the middle, knowing it was coming.
He was so scrappy.
And his career was over. And that's the kind of guy that you want to see. And by the way, in the IndyCar world, since y'all are picking on the IndyCar thing, that's Connor Daly. Connor got picked up this morning. He's going to run for Schmidt-Peterson this weekend at Portland, and then next week he's going to finish up the season in the Air Force car at Laguna Seca. So Connor got to finish out the IndyCar season. Tomorrow, I get to go to the U.S. Nationals, very first drag racing, and maybe the only time I ever get to go. But I'm going to watch Top Fuel run 300 and some miles an hour at O'Reilly Raceway Park under the lights. That's going to be pretty cool. So thank you guys for joining us. Always fun to have Betsy here.
Thanks for having me.
Chase, we're going to excuse you next week, but you're back. You're on the payroll again. Mason's gone. We're not working with
back,
the net
baby.
here. Did you ever meet Mason Rottinghouse, or was it just,
I talked to him once when he called into the show.
You've never met him?
I don't know if they're the.
They may be the same person. Yeah. All right. Catch y'all next week.
Thanks.
Thank you for listening to the Boss Hog of Liberty, which is part of the We Are Libertarians Network. I am Chris Spangle, and I am the founder of this network, and I invite you to listen to all of our shows, which you can find at WeAreLibertarians.com or by searching for these in your podcatcher. The flagship show is the We Are Libertarians podcast, where we apply libertarian principles to current events. The Brian Nichols Show is a conversation amongst Republicans, Democrats, Libertarians, Independents, as they talk about what is happening in the news. And we have many other podcasts like The Chris Spangle Show, Upward, The Cost, Raw Audio Politics, Miranda's World, and Tad Talk, which is quite a ride. So check all of these out. Go to WeAreLibertarians.com and you can check out all of our great podcasts. Thanks for listening. Thank you for listening to the We Are Libertarians Network. Get our other shows at WeAreLibertarians.com.